Hello, Sinister Sippers. Grab your tea and pull your chair a little closer to the fire because tonight we're following the sound of hoofbeats through the dark. Mom, are you shocked we're doing horses?
Totally. Would never have thought it.
How many
Horses, really?
how many copies of Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron have I owned in my life?
Far too damn many.
Not the kind you'd expect, not the steady rhythm of something alive and familiar, but something quieter, heavier, like it carries a story with it. Tonight we're stepping into the lonely shores of Corolla where centuries old horses roam, and deep into the shadowed hollows of the Appalachian Mountains, where legends of a pale horse have haunted the mountains for generations. Two places that couldn't feel more different, yet both hold horses that don't quite belong to this world. And once you hear their stories, you might start listening for hoofbeats a little more carefully. So I ain't never heard of this Appalachian pale
No,
horse.
no, no. I haven't either. I mean, we've heard of the pale horse from the Bible, but that's been about it.
And that weird night in Maryland where the horseback riders didn't have any reflective gear on their horses, so it looked like a
Yeah,
floating cowboy.
that was a little freaky. Little freaky.
Little's ass, that was mega freaky.
Little freaky.
So we're gonna start with the ghost horses of Corolla. Along the remote beaches of Corolla, wild horses still roam freely, their silhouettes cutting across the dunes like ghosts. Known as banker horses, they are descendants of Spanish mustangs brought to the Americas in the 1500s. Many lost to shipwrecks along the Outer Banks' treacherous shoals. Over centuries, they adapted to harsh winds, shifting sand, and isolation, roaming the dunes unchecked. By day, they seem almost magical, untouchable, part of the land itself, but when the sun sets, locals say some of these horses may not be alive at all. So yeah, the horses roam the beach freely,
Right. Kind of like an acetate, yes.
and yet we picked Oak Island to go to every year, not the magical wild horsey beach.
Well, yeah. That's in the Outer Banks. Yeah, the Outer Banks is expensive. It's pretty, but it's expensive.
Wild
You
horses.
got to go one time and see them?
Once in my whole 25 years.
You an adult now. You can go whenever you want to. You got big girl money.
Listen, I'm just saying. The beach after dark has a peculiar quiet. The waves crash in rhythmic whispers, the wind carries a chill, and every footstep seems amplified. Yet the world feels frozen. Visitors often report the sensation of being watched, slowly and deliberately. Then come the sounds of hooves against the sand, soft at first, then louder, circling, approaching. It's the moment when something feels just off, like the natural world itself is being bent around them. So it's like the horses that died in the shipwrecks never left. Like their spirits stayed.
They're just stranded there,
Yeah, they're like, we're still living our life.
trying to figure out why this human isn't feeding me.
Yeah. Now the horses at Corolla, they're never fed by humans, or they're not supposed to be. It's all just natural wild
It's a
horses.
reserve.
Yeah, it's a reserve. So we do have eyewitness accounts. One visitor described walking alone after midnight, the ocean stretching endlessly beside them under a pale moon. At first, the sound was faint, a single crunch in the sand behind them. They turned, expecting to see a grazing horse, but there was nothing. Then the sound came again, louder
Maybe it
and
was a
faster.
crab.
Crab.
Maybe it was a crab. They come out at night. It could have been a crab.
The sound was circling them like it had intent, and that's when they saw them. Pale, glowing horses moving like shadows, their eyes completely black as if hollow. I mean, I
I,
get the crab thing.
I think someone was very high and saw crabs.
Someone was very high and saw crabs, but it's the ghost horse!
I mean, come on. Really? I don't know. This one's a little far fetched for me.
That's why I did these, is because it sounds so weird that it's almost fully believable.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, if you're number one, why are you on the beach at midnight? What nefarious shit are you up to? that you're on the beach at midnight
Maybe they
under
were
a pale moon. Ooh.
maybe they were trying to fornicate.
Then they would have been with somebody. Did the other person see the crabs circling them in a circle? Maybe the crabs were hungry and they wanted some fresh meat.
Maybe it was a one night stand. She got some sand in her coochie and had to go home.
Anyway,
the witness said the horses moved unnaturally, their legs bending too sharply, gliding rather than running, almost as if imitating the shape of a horse. Then suddenly they vanished. No tracks, no sound, nothing left behind. Some locals believe these are the spirits of horses lost in Spanish shipwrecks centuries ago, while others think the land itself keeps their energy alive. The most unsettling detail isn't seeing them, it's the lingering feeling like the beach itself remembered the horses long after they disappeared. Another account comes from a couple in a Corolla beach house. Around midnight, what's up with these things being happening at midnight?
why is everybody at the beach still? I mean, really? Come on now.
You should be drunk off margaritas and in bed
Exactly,
asleep.
and that's what's wrong. They're all drunk and high. They don't know what they're seeing. They've tripped some shrooms or something. They've done a little. No.
So around midnight, loud hoofbeats echoed outside their home, circling and pounding with impossible speed. They looked out, expecting chaos, but the beach was untouched. No tracks, no movement, nothing visible. Just the overwhelming impression that something had passed through. The next night, the pattern repeated, closer to the house, leaving them frozen in fear.
You're inside. What's to be afraid of?
What if they left the door open? The ghost horsey could come in and shit in their beach house.
I'm sorry, but how threatening truly is a ghost horse?
None, I would try to make it my friend.
I mean, I'm not trying to be some type of way, but if you see a ghost horse, how scared are you truly going to be?
It's not like it's the headless horseman.
No, I mean, right, if it's got a headless rider on it, I'm going to be like, wait a minute, we got to talk. But no, if it's just a horse, why is that going to be scary? It's not going to be scary. It's a horse. Oh, look, it glows. It's pretty.
And if there's a group of headless men riding horses, it's just the headless hunt. We learned about that in Harry Potter.
It's fine. Find nearly hellish Nick. It'll be okay.
The folklore around these horses has been passed down for generations. Early 1900s newspapers referenced mysterious ghost horses seen racing the dunes under the moonlight. DNA testing confirms that Corolla wild horses are indeed Spanish Mustang descendants, tying the legend to real history. Shipwrecks along the Outer Banks were common, and it's easy to see how the tragedy of lost horses became immortalized in ghost stories. It's a tale that blends historical fact with chilling superstition, perfect for the night. The water out there, what did the fridge just do? There was just a water sound from the fridge.
And a happy little tinkle on the floor.
So, I know the oceans out there are treacherous, because, that's why Blackbeard and the pirates went there, was because the British ships couldn't follow.
Yeah.
Because, most
that's
why
it's
they're
called
British pussies.
Well, and that's also why it's called the graveyard of the sea, of the Atlantic, because there were so many shipwrecks there. There were more than we probably even know about, because so many were lost and still to this day they've not been found. And there was a lot of lives lost. My whole thing with it is, okay, you're out on a beach in the pale moonlight.
Like a romantic Shakespeare poem.
I know, right? Oh, wherefore art thou, dumbass? But, okay, you're saying that you're out there at midnight. There's not a lot of lighting and stuff like that. There's not, street lights. So, how are you able to describe this at this point that there was nothing in the sand? I mean, really? I mean, you didn't, if you're feeling that kind of unsettled, you're not going to stand there and watch it. You're going to leave.
Some people don't do that. That's why they get eaten by things in the
woods.
Oh,
I forgot. They're the dumbasses that run up the stairs and sit out the open front door. Okay.
These are the ones that die first in the horror movie.
I've seen that movie.
People who encounter the ghost horses often report the experience stays with them, even miles inland. Far from the dunes, they wake to faint hoofbeats outside their homes. Slow at first, then pacing, always just out of sight, as if something followed them off the beach. So this ain't no this is
so the horse is lonely and it wants somebody to give him some attention.
It wants sugar cubes and carrots.
Yes.
But is it truly a ghost, or is it demonic if it's following the person?
But is it truly following, or is it the fact that the the sounds, the way the sounds of the ocean are. Wow, I never realized that I was going to be the skeptic in this shit.
Well, I didn't think I would be either when I started
Because
looking
I'm
in
like
this.
very much the one that's all for, and I'm the one that got you into the supernatural stuff, the paranormal stuff, because I've always believed in it. But this one's a little far. I'm having a hard time grasping this.
I am too, and that's why I wanted to do it. I didn't want all these just to be like, yes, we believe all this.
Yeah.
I wanted some skeptical
I
ones.
mean, because think about it, when you're on the beach and you get that, the sounds are different, the sounds carry different. You hear echoes of stuff that you wouldn't normally hear.
They can be hearing horses that are on like third and fourth row houses.
Yes, or even if it's horses that are just playing and the sound's carrying, or it's the wind itself, or as I said again, it's nighttime, it's crabs. Going with the crab theory.
So now we're going to talk about the Appalachian Pale Horse legend. Deep in the winding back roads and hidden hollows of the Appalachian Mountains, there's a legend of a pale horse, unlike the Corolla horses. It doesn't move in herds. It is solitary, silent, and ominous. Rooted in both Native American spiritual beliefs and European settler folklore, this pale horse is said to appear before death or disaster. Its presence is always deliberate, an omen rather than a visitor. So
it's almost like a banshee.
I was going Mothman, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's talking about, well, with the death thing, I mean, it's almost like, it's like a...
Well, people don't know if Mothman is warning them or if he's a bad omen. He's
yeah.
not a bad omen. He's a fuzzy little mothy poo that wants love.
You need psychiatric evaluation.
He's a little mothy poo that wants a friend.
But it's still, I mean, but is it trying to warn them, or is it even almost like
a passage to
a reaper in a sense? Not like an actual reaper, but a form of reaper.
Yeah, not like the reaper like Dean Winchester killed, but like a almost kind of like, because there was this like bedtime story that Nana told me where the horse would take the kids to Sleepy Town. Think about that, but if like the horse took them to heaven, the afterlife.
Right. You know, I mean, maybe that's kind of along those lines.
Folk tales describe it as unnaturally thin, standing at the edge of light.
It's a threshold, but white.
If y'all can't tell by this point after my quote from the last episode, we love Harry Potter in this house. Standing at the edge of light or in the middle of narrow mountain roads. Its eyes reflect nothing, not moonlight or headlights, and it moves in a way that seems intentional, rather than reactive. Witnesses often feel deep, creeping dread, a sense that the horse knows something they don't. It doesn't need to run. It doesn't need to chase. It waits, and the world seems to hold its breath while it does.
Okay, that would be creepy as shit. I'm just saying.
Well,
because there's some places up there in the mountains, even in a car, and you're driving around, it's creepy. Even though you know you're inside a vehicle and you're not like walking in the elements, it's creepy in some of those areas.
I wonder if anyone saw it before Helene hit.
That would be interesting.
Because if it's supposed to be an omen of disaster, there's a lot of people who are more rooted in the mountain folklore than us who talk about how Helene wasn't actually just like a freak nature thing. It was like the mountains were angry and they were cleansing the mountains.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were trying to get rid of overdevelopment and things like that, and it was horrible and very tragic, and so many people lost their lives that it's just
which
horrible.
If you guys would like, we will dive into that, the more folklore side of Helene. Still honor all the victims because we lived through that.
Yes, we have family that lost everything. We have family rooted in those mountains, and we felt it here. Yeah, 9 days without power is my limit.
Yeah, I tried to call the house several times and no one would answer. I didn't know they lost cell phone service, so we were pretty sure by the time my boyfriend and I would get here to the house, that everyone was just going to be sacrificed in the front yard because they got tired of each other.
It was rough. People breathe loud.
So we have some eyewitness accounts of this horse. One man drove along a narrow mountain road late at night, headlights cutting through dense fog. Up ahead, a pale horse stood perfectly still, blocking the road. He slowed, confused, expecting to see it step aside. Like horses would do, they would just move out of the way.
Right.
But it didn't move, it only stared. its posture unnaturally rigid, then one deliberate step forward, then another. He swerved and drove off, haunted by the encounter. So it's almost like, isn't Death the one who rides the pale horse?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just making sure, like I didn't want to get my facts mixed up.
And on that, yeah.
Yes, so, yeah, I was trying to quote Supernatural in my head, and Death upon the pale horse.
No, baby. It's original Ghostbusters. All the way.
Dean Winchester plays
That's
in my
one
head.
big Twinkie.
Dean Winchester plays in my head rent free all day, every day. But it's almost like the horse was basically like, hit me, motherfucker, I dare you.
Right. It wasn't phased. It didn't care. It was there with its own purpose, and
a normal horse would have cared, would have stepped away, would have ran off.
But
or it would have at least walked around the car and tried to be like, hey,
what
man,
you doing? You got some food in there?
You got hungry. A carrot or an apple? Please feed me with your palm flat so I don't bite you. Another story tells of a woman who saw the horse from her porch before dawn. It stood at the edge of her property, motionless, watching her. She couldn't move, couldn't look away. Then it turned and walked into the woods, leaving behind silence and a sense of inevitability. Words are hard.
Yes.
Later, a family member passed away during the night. Coincidence? Folklore says the pale horse appears as an omen. It doesn't cause events, it only signals what is to come.
Okay, so it's like a messenger.
Yeah, it's like, hey, by the way, something tragic's about to happen. You might want to start mentally preparing.
Right. So it really would stand to reason that if this is...
It's death.
Yeah. And it does make me wonder now if there were people that saw this before Helene. It really does make me wonder that.
And it also, because I wonder how many people, if like we went on Facebook and went to the county's page and said, has anyone heard this? Has anyone's family seen this? What we would find.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Well, and I mean, I still have family connections in that area that I could touch base with.
Oh, please do, because I want to know. Like,
I mean, it is very interesting, and I'm kind of surprised that I've never heard of it. And maybe I did when I was a kid and just don't remember.
And the Appalachian Mountains are so big, you don't know which part they're talking about.
Right? Here. Is it even where what was affected?
The Appalachians stretch all the way up to Canada. The mountain range does. The trail doesn't, but
right,
the mountain range.
The mountain range itself does.
Actually, if you look at it before Pangea, the mountain range stretches all the way to the Scottish Highlands. So the Scottish Highlands were originally part of the Appalachian Mountains. So that's why a lot of our folklore ends up mixing with Scottish, I think, is because everything in those mountains lived through everything.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Appalachian stories about the pale horse date back centuries. Early settlers and Native American tribes saw pale horses as messengers of death or warnings, a belief preserved in oral history and local newspapers through the 1800s and 1900s. Ruth McHenry Stewart and other folklorists documented these tales, noting that encounters almost always involved isolation, quiet roads, and the uncanny presence of a singular pale horse. Today, paranormal enthusiasts still report sightings, keeping the legend alive. Okay, can we go try to find this?
I know that would be so interesting. I kind of would like to,
just go up the mountains one night and just sit on an empty road somewhere and just be like, here, horsey, 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 I have sugar cubes.
Of course, you would want the bad omen horse or the messenger of doom horse to show up at your front door and eat sugar cubes out of your hand. Jesus.
There is no such thing as a bad horse. All horses are beautiful and amazing. The pale horse's appearances always precede change, loss, or tragedy. So see, sometimes it could just be change.
Okay.
Witnesses describe a feeling heavier than fear and understanding that the horse knows something they don't yet. In Appalachia, the story is passed quietly, a cautionary tale. Never underestimate a solitary figure in the dark, especially one with eyes that reflect nothing.
Yeah, that right there, that alone would creep me the hello out.
Oh, I'm not saying I wouldn't be creeped out by this horse, because I full on would at first, and then I want to pet it because it's a horse and that's my favorite animal in the world. I'd be like, come here, you little omen of death. Who's your good little deathy poo? Come here. You want a sugar cube or an apple?
I'm so disappointed.
This is coming from your child who has an almost unhealthy obsession with Mothman. As in, when y'all went to the
I never said I was proud of that, friend.
Okay, but you have fueled the obsession because when y'all went to Greyface, you brought me back a Mothman shirt.
Listen,
Live, laugh, lurk.
you had to have it because it was Mothman. I think your pen even has Mothman on it.
No, my pen's John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, that's right. His
Yeah.
paintings were really kind of badass, actually.
He was talented, and we're going to talk about John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
It's a lot to unpack with his, but you know. So the next time you hear hoofbeats, whether carried on ocean wind or echoing through mountain fog, pause before you look. Not every horse belongs to this world, and sometimes the things we can't explain are the ones that follow us the longest. Sleep well, Sinister Sippers, and listen carefully because somewhere in the dark, something might already be on its way. Alright, so I hope you guys like that kind of two-part thing. I hate that the first one was kind of just like
Hokey.
Yeah, it's really hokey. But I was just like quickly researching like ghost horses.
No, I mean, it's an interesting story, but it has.
The eyewitness accounts are what messes it up.
Yes, because it sounds like some little teeny bopper is trying very hard to write a love story about Zach Bagans.
That's the goal. That's always the goal, Mom.
Well, but it does.
They want to touch his butt like the Gettysburg ghost.
So that's most people's first stop. Most girls' first stop after they die.
All right, Sinister Sippers. We will see you guys. Yeah, you'll probably be with me with the next episode that we record.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.